Madam Secretary, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone, and we're so glad that you all showed up this morning. We are really excited about this announcement and are thrilled to share it with you today. Before we dive into the work, I want to make sure we acknowledge some very special people who are with us today that helped make today possible. First of all, I want to call out Delegate Carrie Coyner, who not only is a patron for the legislature and this, but who also was the chairwoman of the commission, let me get it right, on early childhood care and education. And the commission, which I'll recognize at the end, played a huge role in helping us get to the recommendations that you will see come alive in this announcement today. I also want to call out Delegate Mike Cherry, who was also, and please stand as I call out your name so everyone can acknowledge, who also was a great member of the commission. Thank you, Delegate. I also want to call out Delegate Waxman and Delegate Tata, who are here as well, so please. We so look forward to working with the General Assembly to make all of these recommendations and this plan come alive, so thank you for being here. I also want to acknowledge our great leadership of our states, of our local superintendents of our school divisions. Superintendent Hornick of Orange County, Superintendent Whitmarsh of Greene County, Superintendent Nichols of New Kent, and Superintendent Pennycuff of Prince George's County. Please stand so you can be recognized as well. I also am looking to see if our wonderful president of the State Board of Education, Grace Creasy, is here. She's not, okay, but Grace is leading some phenomenal conversations, President Creasy, on the State Board of Education and Innovation, and I know this is a passion of hers as well as of the entire State Board. I also want to call out Travis Staton, who is a, please stand, Travis, who's been an inspiration at the United Way in Southwest. Many of us in this room have visited a living testament of what it looks like when partnership happens in Southwest and transforming a space in Old Kmart into a vibrant hub of childcare, of quality childcare. So Travis, thank you for being an inspiration for what we're going to talk about today as well. And I also want to call out, they can show two other people, Colonel Harry Holst, there we go, Harry Hung, thank you, who's at Fort Eustis, who is also epitomizes the partnership that it takes when we are trying to solve some of the thorniest issues in society. The military plays a huge role, and as you know, Governor Youngkin has a goal to make Virginia the greatest place for our active military and our veterans. And Colonel Hung, you epitomize what it means to work in partnership to make sure we're providing our military with the services, especially early childhood care and education. So thank you for being here. And finally, I want to call out Kathy Glazer, who is the chairwoman, the president of the Early Childhood Virginia Education Early Childhood Foundation. Again, I'm going to ask not only Kathy, but the entire foundation who's here today and the commission to stand. It's these two groups that have come together not only in the last 6 months, but also over the last several years to really create what is possible to announce today. The strong foundation and commitment to quality care in Virginia for every Virginia child has been made possible by the partnership represented by this commission and by the foundation. So please stand so we can recognize you. And lastly, but probably most important for today's announcement, I am thrilled to have the children of Rivers Bend Child Center stand and be acknowledged for them being here. We will hear from them literally later on, but I also want to thank their teachers. They are a reminder of why we gather today and why the work that we do together makes such a huge difference. I also want to call out their teachers, Miss Jessica and Miss Kathy, and also and Clark and Amanda Anders, who are so wonderful and are showing us what quality care looks like in Virginia. So thank you so very much. So you all know this, but nothing is more important than preparing our children for life. And that's why we gather here today, to ensure that every single Virginia child has the strong foundation for a strong future, both today and for future success. We know that quality care, early education, and child care is critical to prepare our children for success, and the data backs it up. Every dollar spent on high-quality child care for disadvantaged children nets a 13% return on investment every single year of their life. What we know is that the long-term benefits of quality care and education, improved outcomes in healthcare, in health, in education, in quality of life, in labor, in income, and in so much more. And as a working mom, I know I speak for all the moms in the room who know that quality care is critical to getting to jobs every single day. And I don't care the income level, it matters to have reliable quality care. And I know I speak for the moms when we say this matters. We also know that every child is unique and that every single family has its own needs. And that's why in Virginia, we've built the nation's premier public-private system that empowers families to choose the care that works best for their child and for their families. The commitment to quality, the commitment to public accountability, to family choice, and to the robust public-private marketplace of providers has made Virginia the leader in early childhood care and education. And we are not done yet. Today, we open the door to the next era of early care and education in the Commonwealth. We will address childcare deserts. We will address early childhood provider shortages, and we will introduce innovation and partnerships into how we pay for childcare. It is upon the strong foundation and with a commitment to continuous improvement and innovation that the building blocks for Virginia's families is positioned. We're glad you're here today to help us launch this. It is now my pleasure to introduce my boss, who wakes up every single day focused on making government work for all Virginia members of the Commonwealth, and to ensuring that every Virginian has access to a quality education that is centered on high expectations and on preparation for life. Please help me in welcoming our governor, the Honorable Glenn Younkin.
Thank you. Good morning. Secretary Gadara, thank you. And Rivers Bend, welcome. I met a new friend this morning, and she said, "What are we going to do today?" And I said, "We're going to have fun." And she leaned over and said, "I like having fun." I like having fun, too. I just want to thank everyone for coming. Superintendent Coons, thank you for your leadership. And I have to say, with Secretary, I see our whole cabinet here. Thank everybody for coming. Secretary Littell, thank you for sitting up on stage with us. Thank you. We've got a lot going on together. And most importantly, I just want to also thank the many, many people who have been engaged in this most important journey. And I'm so excited that we are at this moment where we can share our thinking, our aspirations, and collectively march forward in addressing one of the most important challenges, not just in the Commonwealth, but across the nation. I also want to thank the First Lady. Suzanne, thank you so much for your inspiration, guidance, and counsel along the way. It's not time to be timid. It's time to be bold. It's time to chart a course that in fact addresses, as I said, one of the most vexing challenges today. One of the most vexing challenges that I believe stands in the way of a brighter future for all Virginians. And so therefore, around the basic concept that there is nothing more important than ensuring a quality education for our children, empowering parents, embracing work and the job growth that is happening across the Commonwealth, these foundational building blocks, these building blocks for families, these building blocks for opportunity come together this morning in building blocks for families. Let me take us back just a moment. You see, 2 years ago, Virginia was ranked in the bottom third in the nation in job growth coming out of the pandemic. We, in fact, had watched our labor force shrink. We had nearly 150,000 Virginians exit the labor force. And yet, with opportunity and aspiration and collective effort, we have in fact seen Virginians come back into labor force in record numbers. Over this time period, we went from, yes, bottom third in the nation in job growth, to 23 months later, number 3 in the nation in job growth. What that required was a collective effort from all of us, but also allowing Virginians to reach their dreams and to re-enter a workforce that underpins, I believe, the most aspirational state in the nation. But on top of that, we also have seen dreams of families come back alive and the opportunity to experience one of the realities that there is dignity in work. So, as we all came together and address the complex problems of opening up opportunity, we in fact notice the realities of also a changing requirement. And I am so grateful for the tremendous work that the Commission has done in order to highlight, yes, the great underpinnings to having the very best child care and early education system in the nation and what we need to do to make it sustainable. You see, this work has been going on for years in understanding that we, in fact, need to provide this. But during the pandemic dollars from the federal government were used to get it started. But the reality is that wasn't sustainable. And the reality is that in March 2024, without significant reforms to improve this long-term viability of our child care programs, we would otherwise see children simply being kicked out of these most important collaborations that enable, again, families to realize their dreams. And so we can't leave families, parents, and their children without options. That's what today is all about. Today is about addressing the child care crisis and getting our children back on track in the classrooms, and parents who have come into the workforce to be allowed to stay there and to open up opportunities for all of the future families that want to avail themselves of the opportunities in the great Commonwealth of Virginia. You see, one thing we know particularly is that moms feel the impact and the challenge here most acutely. I stopped for a minute. My mom was my hero. My mother did amazing things, and I remember her balancing all of the many demands that life placed on us as a family. And I remember her coming home from her job at St. Mary's Hospital, or over at now VCU, which was MCV at the time, picking me up at daycare, and then once again embracing her mom role. And so it's not surprising that when we see the reports that have been clearly underpinning this recognition that a total of 46% of mothers who remain unemployed after having left the workforce in 2021, they left due to child care issues. In another study, women who are in the workforce cite the two things that are at the top of their challenge list: lack of flexibility and lack of child care support. This is about families. This is about moms. And Virginians shouldn't have to worry about getting their children the care that they need when they're at work. And unfortunately, so many do. And so while we have an enormous journey in front of us, I believe that we are taking a bold step to put in place the building blocks for families. The Commission on Early Childhood Care and Education has done extraordinary work, and I want to echo the appreciation to all of our legislative colleagues, but it also reflects the input from school divisions and from providers who understand this ecosystem, so that today, as we make this announcement, we reflect a collaborative engagement with the best thinking. Let me walk you through a few key parts of building blocks for families. First, this plan enables choice for parents who are juggling the demands of life, family, and work, empowering parents to choose, whether that is home care providers and public school preschool or community co-ops or private day centers. Importantly, by expanding the requirements that parents work in order to participate in this plan, we are focusing on the considerable investment. We're focusing our considerable investment on parents who are working to keep all of those balls in the air as they juggle them. And we are ensuring good stewardship of the resources required to make this successful. Second, Building Blocks for Families also supports affordability. In fact, low-income working families are going to be most supported. Families that currently receive support will continue to have access to early childhood and after-school programs. So important. Third, Building Blocks for Families supports workforce participation, specifically for working mothers in Virginia who I know and we all know are hardest hit when child care options are limited. Fourth, we're empowering the development of our youngest Virginians from birth to 5-year-olds, where quality matters and attendance matters. We will continue to measure what's happening across all of these learning environments and partner with parents to make sure our youngest learners are engaged and they're present. Fifth, we are innovating to solve our most pressing challenges, making it easier for families. And let me just describe specifically 2 innovations: the digital wallet and the Fund for Childcare Deserts. First, the digital wallet. We know that Virginia will be first again. And I've said over and over again, Virginians lead, we don't follow. And here we are again. First in the nation to offer a statewide digital wallet platform to enable local governments, employers, philanthropy, and others who will contribute towards this great need. Every family will be able to get a digital wallet, and the platform will make it easier for them to find care and direct care to where it fits their family the best. Second, on our Fund for Childcare Deserts, we are launching a new $25 million capital fund to reduce childcare deserts. Our aspiration is truly to follow the great leadership out of Southwest Virginia that came together with public and private resources to renovate basically a building that was no longer being used and transform it into a hub of both child care opportunity, workforce development, and on top of that, collaboration. And we believe this model is one that can be replicated across the Commonwealth to those areas that need it most. My aspiration is that we can create through this fund capacity for 3,000 children. Friends, this will require a lot of work and a lot of collaboration. But when we bring business and we bring local and state government support for capital up front and we create a sustainable system, we can move mountains. The impact on communities, I think, will be vast. Communities from Southwest Virginia to Hampton Roads to Petersburg, even some of our largest areas like Fairfax. Next, Building Blocks for Families is fiscally sustainable. And this is so important. In each of the next 2 fiscal years, we will invest more than $440 million from the state resources in making sure that Building Blocks for Virginia Families takes off. That includes an increase in the state investment of $180 million each year. Friends, this is hugely important. At the heart of this is ensuring that we continue to serve the population being served today, and that dollars follow the children on their parents' best wishes. Finally, the plan sustains investments in early childhood workforce. We know that teachers matter, and we know that we don't have enough. And so the plan includes scholarships for working teachers and a nationally recognized child care teacher incentive that helps attract and retain top-notch child care teachers like those we have with us today. These building blocks for Virginia's families are at the center of the future of the Commonwealth being the best place to live and work and raise a family. It embraces simple and shared truths, that there's dignity in work, that strong families are a critical building block to parents being able to make great decisions for their children. And fundamentally, we must build on an ecosystem full of opportunity, an ecosystem that can lift up all Virginians. The working mom who's taking extra classes at Northern Virginia Community College to grow her resume and professional opportunities. The working parents who want to see their child receive the best possible education. A small business owner who wants to grow from 2 employees to 10 to 100. This is about opportunity for success, and it starts with success for families. Friends, growth is a good thing. Participation is a good thing. And an opportunity-based economy is a good thing. And so I challenge all of us today on December the 7th that we have to come together and march forward, recognizing that no plan is perfect. But let me tell you, this one is pretty darn good. We are already seeing economic growth, educational excellence, and new pathways come to life across the Commonwealth of Virginia so that Virginians can chase their dreams and Virginia can become what we all know she will be, the best place to live, work, and raise a family. Removing roadblocks and enabling building blocks is what today is all about. We will have families availing themselves of best-in-class child care. We will have the next generation of leaders. There's a governor in here, a lieutenant governor, an attorney general who will be excited about attending school because we will bring together parents, the private sector providers, choice, partnership, and it will become an overwhelming force. Again, I want to thank everyone today. You've all had a hand in coming to this moment. And now we need 2 hands, both your feet, and everything you've got in order to deliver it. And that's where I am most confident, because this is where Virginians do their very, very best work. Because when we support families, we support Virginia. May God bless you during this holiday season. May we recognize that the many blessings that we have are ours only as stewards, and it's our job to come together and deliver them to the next generation. And it is my pleasure to invite the next generation to come up and share with us a few tunes to remind us that it is all about them. Thank you all very, very much. Yes, you can, sir.
Hello. Clark Anders, Rivers Bend Children's Center. Thank you so much. Y'all, come on up. Start bringing them up. I was just trying to fill time while if you look to your left anytime during that presentation, you saw that they're ready to go. So we're going to get them up here. So they did a show for their parents this past spring. The theme of the show was African Safari. Now picture this, they were all dressed as animals and they all sang songs about their favorite animal. So they're going to sing for you today 2 of those songs from that performance this past spring.
She just said she wants to sing to me, which is really kind of the best possible thing that anybody said to me all day. So I'm just going to sneak down here and sit with a few of my friends.
Jungle, and grass is Soon. Okay. Yeah, we're joining you for lunch.
All right. So I just want to thank everybody for coming, and yes, that was the best part of the whole thing. But again, the building blocks for Virginia families is a team effort, and I just want to thank everybody, and now the work starts, so let's go to work. Thank you all very much.